I also feel like 2025 is the year where I need to really just take back my power from a lot of things that I've given it away to. Hey y'all, so this is my first video of 2025. Not only that, this is my first time actually like getting myself together, like actually doing my makeup and like going somewhere in 2025. So in this video, we're just gonna chat, we're just gonna catch up. I have been very much overthinking my content recently just because y'all know I just started my visual journal series and I was really enjoying that when I was in the process of transitioning to get into my new apartment and like all this stuff. And all of a sudden I kind of lost the passion for that. And I feel like I do that often. So I'm just trying to find a middle ground, find balance, find a way that I can continue to create content that feels really good without falling off, without judging myself for wanting to change and pivot. You guys have literally watched me pivot for years and years and years. So I put a little bit too much pressure on myself to stick to one thing, even though I feel like I've outgrown it in certain ways, or not even outgrown it. I just want to do something different. So bear with me with my content over the next few months. I'm 100% going to be just trying things and seeing what sticks, which is in my nature anyway. So I don't even know why I'm like questioning that, but I am going to brunch with my girls. Like I said, it's the first day I'm getting up and going out. I'm sure I'm not the only one that can attest to the fact that 2025 has been off to a very weird start, and I have a very long hair on my chest. Let me take care of that. But yeah, 2025 has been off to a very weird start, and I'm the type of person, like, I have gotten really good at moving at my own pace. It's just that sometimes I still feel a little guilty for doing that. So in this video, I'm just gonna talk about where I am, and yeah, let's just talk and catch up. I also feel like 2025 is the year where I need to really just take back my power from a lot of things that I've given it away to. And I think that was my mantra for 2024, and I feel like I still slipped into some old patterns, which we'll talk about. But I'm like seeing it and becoming more aware of it. So yeah, let's just get ready. I actually see myself doing more just chatty videos where I'm getting ready or doing skincare, or, you know, like I used to do my self-care Sundays moving forward, because as much as I do enjoy vlogging for the sake of the memories, sometimes I just don't want to have to think like, oh my god, I have to vlog this because I have to post on Sunday. And yeah, that's just me being honest about that. I love vloggers that consistently do it every week, but there are some times where I do want to just retreat into my shell, and sometimes it's an extended period of time and it's like I don't even have the capacity to film to be able to post it later. It's like I just want to figure this out and come back when I'm ready to speak. So anyways, let's get into it. First, I'm going to prime with the Yummy Skin what is this called, Blurring Balm Powder by Janessa Myricks. I love this stuff so much. My skin has been very much textured. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, I'm really, y'all know I'm used to my skin being butter smooth. I haven't really changed much in my skincare routine, yet I'm noticing so much texture when I do my skincare. I mean, when I do my makeup. I feel like when you wear makeup, you can really see it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of texture. Before we even talk about 2025, we have to go back to the end of 2024 because I need to catch y'all up on some stuff, okay? So remember in a vlog or in a visual journal that I did not too long ago, I was basically having a meltdown because I was feeling unsure about if I should stay with the agency I was signed to. Yes, was signed to. I feel like after that vlog, like I felt pretty good about staying. Like I had convinced myself that it was me. Like I was just in my head about it, and that I needed to be more patient and just like trust the conversation that we had, and them saying like, oh, you know, we really do value you here, even though I wasn't feeling valued. Oh, you know, we had big plans for 2025, even though I wasn't seeing where that was happening and they weren't giving me specific examples. Like I'm oftentimes find myself like knowing something and knowing that something doesn't feel right, but then hearing the other person's perspective and being like, wait, maybe I'm tripping. Like it's almost like I've become too self-aware to where I know where I can, like where lines can be blurred in the way that I'm seeing things, to the point where I will immediately ask myself, what am I doing wrong? What am I thinking? What am I doing? Instead of like actually taking things for face value and not always assuming that it's me, because most of the time it is me. Most of the time it is me, but sometimes it's really not me. It's actually the fact that I'm not listening to my intuition, even if I know for a fact that something is not right, you know? So some of the main issues that I was having with my agency was, one, the fact that I didn't really feel valued. I felt like they weren't really sharing me on socials that much, like compared to their other talents, which that might not seem like a big deal, but I'm a projector in human design. Feeling recognized and feeling seen and valued is like super, super important. And I can be easily conditioned by where, like, the communities that I'm in. And I just kind of felt like, even though I was bringing them money, like me coming in as an established influencer, when brands reach out to me, they're getting a cut of that, you know? And I just kind of felt like they weren't really showing my work much. They were keeping their feed very aesthetic and very, like, not showing some of the other things that even other talents were really good at doing. It was just very, like, editorial, and that just wasn't vibing with me, especially where I am in my influencer journey. Like, it's not that I don't care about material stuff. Obviously, like, I like stuff, but I do value other things, and I feel like our values weren't aligning. Going in with the Hudy Beauty Easy Blur on top of this primer. Yeah, I felt like our values just weren't really aligning. And when I spoke to them about this, they were like, what? Like, no. They tried to really reassure me. And of course, I kind of fell for it. So yeah. Another issue that I was having too, though, was the fact that they weren't paying me on time. Like, in our contracts, if I work with a brand, you know, the brand pays them when when the partnership is over with, right? So the brand pays my agency, and my agency is supposed to pay me within a certain amount of time contractually. There were some deals that I was doing, like partnerships that I was doing, where I wasn't getting paid for months, like after the due date. And after a certain point in our collaborations, I don't have the same access to communicate with the brands myself. So I'm like waiting around for them to pay me, not even knowing if the brand has already paid the agency, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure if they're holding my money or if the brand just hasn't paid. And I felt like every time I would confront them about this or ask them about it, it was very like, well, you're kind of rushing us type of energy. Like, they didn't say that I was rushing them, but it kind of felt like pushback. I don't play about my money. Like, and it's not my responsibility to be down your throat about paying me on time. One of the times they even said, you know, you just got a big payment. And I'm like, that doesn't fucking matter. Excuse my language, but that pissed me off, because it's like, I'm budgeting and I'm managing my money based on how much I'm supposed to get each month. This influencer thing is already very inconsistent. When I'm planning my money or when things are due, I need to know when it's coming in each month in order to stay on top of my finances. So that was a mess, but they still tried to reassure me, you know, we're getting our payment processing together. This won't happen again. You know, it happened a couple times, but then it happened one big time. And after that big explosion, then there was a reassurance of, oh, we understand. We're going to change it. A lot of false promises, pretty much. House Labs concealer. One of my current favorites. Oh my God, it's so good. And I even felt like, so I had initially threatened to end, because with them, you can give them 60 days notice to end your contract at any point within the contract. Even though my contract wasn't supposed to end until January, which is now, I sent them like a 60-day notice in November, like, hey, I want to end the contract. We ended up having a conversation and I ended up staying. But then a month later is when all this payment stuff started happening. So then I decided, you know what, I'm still gonna leave. I mean, we decided we were gonna end the contract on January 22nd, which was the end of my year contract anyway. So it would have just been ending organically. And to be completely honest with you guys, that has been weighing heavy on me, because obviously I've been doing this for a long time. This is the second agency that I've had like a pretty much long-term relationship with. And sometimes it just feels like I'll never find the agency or even just the people that I can really count on to support me with this. And I see like other influencers just hitting the jackpot with their first agency and having amazing experiences. And, you know, sometimes I just be like, what am I doing wrong here? Which, I mean, obviously I'm not choosing partners correctly. I'm not giving myself enough time and enough, you know, consideration before jumping into partnerships, which I have reflected on myself. But in the same breath, it's just like, I just wish that I could find my people in this way, you know? I feel like I also kind of had to reflect on the fact that when I did sign to this agency, I had just left my other agency, and this kind of just felt like something better. Even though it wasn't 100% what I needed, it felt like, oh, this is better, you know? And in the beginning it really was, because my previous agency really wasn't great at all. So to just have something better felt good, you know? And this is the first way that I'm taking my power back this year, because I feel like when it comes to agencies, sometimes I feel like I can't, like I'll tell myself I need to have an agency in my corner, or I need to have help in this way because I can't get the same deals on my own, which that is, first of all, I don't even think that that's true. I feel like a lot of the deals that I've gotten, even with having an agency, were deals that I brought in myself. And me telling myself like, oh, you need someone in your corner in order to maintain this is crazy. And there was this fear, which is another reason why I hustled and tussled with the idea of leaving, that I wouldn't be able to sustain it on my own, or I wouldn't be able to have the connections on my own. And I'm like, I'm just having to look myself in the mirror and say, Kaice, you can do this on your own. And even if it's just for a short period of time and you actually bring in, you know, the right aligned people, give yourself permission to do those negotiations. Give yourself permission to, you know, do this yourself and prove to yourself that you can do it on your own. Oh, I am contouring with the Hollywood contour wand from Charlotte Tilbury. I love this. This is the darkest shade. I really want to try the new Rare Beauty contour stick. I was just in Sephora yesterday. I should have got it. But yeah, I know that that's not everyone's like story when going to agencies. Like there are people who literally just have OD amounts of brand deals and need support, you know? But for me right now, I don't think it's worth giving away 20% of what I'm earning when these are things that I can do on my own. Like these are negotiations I can make on my own. If I get up 2 hours earlier to make sure that I give myself enough time for administration, I don't need to give that away to somebody else at this point, you know? Now, if it gets crazy again to where I was in like 2020, 2021, where it was back to back brand deals all the time, then yeah, I will need somebody. And I'm hoping that I can, instead of putting myself in an agency or putting myself under an umbrella with other people, I can just hire someone to help me with the things that I need directly. So that's where I am with that right now. I think that the vision that I see for myself is not going to another agency, because in a lot of ways I do feel like I've tried to alter myself and try to fit in with the group. And like I said, I know that that's not everybody's experience with agencies, but for me, I need to give myself permission to do my own thing and trust that I can build a team around the things that I need and not rely on other people to do things with it they do them. So what I ended up doing essentially is like stealing, because I actually love the way that my previous agency organized things. Like we used Monday, which is like I would consider it like an online Excel sheet almost. But you can like create different tasks and you can have different boards and different things. So I stole their whole model, created my own account, and just like plopped in everything the way that I wanted it to be. So even though I don't have people managing it, I still have the same model that we were using. So in that way, like I don't regret working with them, because they really did help me to create a new organized way to do my stuff. So I'm very grateful for that. And I also just kind of feel like when I left, it was very much like, I don't know, when I was on the fence, they were very like, oh, please stay, we love you, blah, blah, blah. But when I left, it was like cold turkey. Like there wasn't even like we enjoyed working with you, or like, thank you so much. There wasn't even like a transfer of any information. It was just like, okay, bye. And I still have like 2 partnerships that I'm doing with them. So I'm still kind of tied to them for the next few months until those are over. But I don't know, I just felt like the energy really changed when I left. And for me, when I'm doing business with someone, or even when I'm just doing partnerships with people, I want to feel like I can count on you as my friend too. Like I know people say you should keep business separate from personal, but to a certain extent, I want to feel like we have that connection even outside of work, you know? And even with that, I feel like there was a disconnect, especially with them being in Paris, which initially was really cool to me because I'm like, oh, I'll have deals in like foreign stuff and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think that there was a true connection there the way that I want with people that I'm doing business with. So I have completely thrown my hands up when it comes to that. And I'm just doing things my way for the time being and trusting that I will align with people that will be able to help me, you know, further my journey. But it's important for me to have my foundation first, and I feel like I've never really had that. I've always given it away to other people. I've always given, like I said, that power away to where I'm looking at someone who I think can help me or change, when in reality I'm the one that can do it. I'm the one that can change it. And when I'm in that space, when I'm in that flow, that confidence on my own, that's what's going to attract the right partnerships, you know? And I don't need someone to vouch for me. I don't need someone to, you know, speak on my behalf. I can do this on my own. And like I said, align with the right people in the right timing. LYS blush stick. Love that. So with that being said, you guys know I had gotten a job at Aritzia at the end of last year. That didn't last long. Let me talk to you about Aritzia, okay? So first of all, on my very first day, I didn't have proper training because all the managers were really busy. It was a really busy day. And I think that the actual store manager had like a family emergency. So like the floor leads had to be on the front lines and take care of a lot of things. So they kind of just put me in the back because they were like, we can't, do I have a booger? Oh my God, that's so embarrassing. They were basically like, we can't train you right now. We have other things to do. So I was kind of okay with that because it kind of gave me some time to just kind of like review the things that I had done on the online course I had to take before going on my first day. And they were like, you know, when you come in for your second training day, we'll do the full training and, you know, this, that, and the third. I could already tell on day one that things weren't very organized. Like the way that they were doing things, it was a little fishy. Now, I don't work with them anymore, but I still don't want to get into the logistics of things just because I don't know, I could get in trouble for doing that. I feel like I just didn't really like the way that things were done. Oh, I'm using my Dion powder. This is my favorite setting powder, small black owned business. I'm gonna link everything I'm using in my description box, by the way. But yeah, I feel like I didn't like the way they were doing things. I feel like that's the only way that I can really say it without like giving away the logistics of it. And I feel like I initially tried to convince myself that I was only finding it challenging because I hadn't worked in retail for so long, or the fact that I was kind of on like a social hiatus for a while and I was having trouble communicating with people, and I needed to like really, I was trying to convince myself that it was me again. And in some ways it was me because of me trying to convince myself that it was me. I made the decision when I moved here that I was really going to surrender and that I was really going to trust a higher purpose for my life. Like, I had been so used to controlling every detail. I had been so used to doing everything. I'm using the Tower 28 facial spray to just kind of melt those powders. Yeah, I had told myself I was going to surrender, and I feel like I was granted that. I was granted freedom. I was granted like a more clear conscience to where I wasn't putting so much pressure on myself to do all the time. And I was really starting to relax into my own process, into my own flow of things. But I think that it got to a certain point where I was starting to relapse. Like, I was starting to be afraid of the fact that I had let go because I wasn't sure of how things were going to go. And so I think subconsciously a reason why I had gotten the Aritzia job was because I felt like I needed to have a safety net because I didn't know how things were going to go. Mind you, during this time, I was also considering leaving my management, and I had so much attachment to having management that the thought of leaving and not knowing what my next steps are really going to be made me feel like I had to have a backup and I had to have a safety net. And I feel like once I got into Aritzia, I realized that that isn't where I was supposed to be. And I'm not even saying that it was a bad job. And I'm not even saying that I didn't want to work, because I feel like if the logistics were better and if things were flowing better within the management and stuff, I would have probably really enjoyed it. I actually still took advantage of that discount though. We were able to get our discount like within the first day, and I went online and bought some stuff. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, I feel like I tried to convince myself that I needed to have a safety net, and it wasn't. I was telling myself that it was just because I need to get out the house, I need to do something else, when in reality I was still in a season where I needed to still be in the house. I still needed to be pondering, I still needed to be settling, and I found myself uncomfortable in that, like, waiting season pretty much, because I felt like I had been in a waiting season for so long that I wanted to hurry up and get out of it. So Aritzia was like an escape almost for me to not be still waiting. And one thing about God, if you rush the seasons that he's trying to put you in, you will immediately be met with resistance. And that happened to me with Aritzia essentially. So I ended up leaving. I was literally there for 3 weeks. But I don't regret the experience like at all. I actually did end up still meeting like 2 people that I still talk to. So I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, Aritzia is no longer a side quest for me. So basically I ended 2024 leaving my management and leaving Aritzia. So I decided to go home for the holidays because I was feeling a little overwhelmed. I was feeling a little like disheveled, and I just want to be with my family. So that's another reason why I haven't been posting, because when I go home to Baltimore, my family, they aren't really like camera people. Like they barely even take photos. So usually when I go home, I'm home. Like I'm not filming, I'm not recording, I'm not vlogging. And I was home for almost 3 weeks. I left on December 20th. I didn't come back to Atlanta until until January 10th. So I was gone for a while. In that time frame, I had also gone to Disney with my my sister and her daughters and some other family members, and that was really fun. Again, didn't vlog, just was with family, enjoying that. Then when I got back to Atlanta, I was exhausted. Like even before the election, wow, I can't even talk. Even before the inauguration, when everything really went left, I was just tired, and I wanted to really give myself permission to be tired. I slept in. I was eating horribly. I feel like I had completely got off track from a lot of the routines and the things that I had started at the the middle end of 2024. I had really kind of started to let myself go again. Mind you, I'm still not sure what the future of any of my stuff looks like. I was just really finding myself again in another place of like, what am I even doing? And I feel like when I get into a space like that or a mindset like that, I just kind of shut off the world, which I'm trying not to do as much because I do want to start sharing more of what that looks like in process. But I was just disheveled, y'all. Like I was just like, what am I even doing? Like, what am I even passionate about? And I still really want to share more of my human design and astrology stuff. Oh, that's another thing, y'all. So in my previous like video where I was talking about like portfolio careers and stuff, I was talking about my Talk Energy to Me thing that I had created with human design. That has also changed again. I learned a lot about myself through that process. Just for a little backstory, if you don't know about my journey with human design, I found human design in 2021. And since then, I have just been like full force, just studying, learning, even doing readings, human design and astrology readings. And it really has been something that has helped me on my own journey back to myself, I would say. I haven't really used it as a tool, like as a means to divination. Like it's just more so something that helps me understand the timing of things, the energy that's happening around me, and why I respond to certain things in certain ways. You know, that's pretty much the basis of it for me. I had created a business called the Influencer Rooftop back in 2022, where I was going to be doing readings for influencers, business owners, entrepreneurs. That fell to the ground because I felt like it wasn't truly in alignment with what I was supposed to be doing. And the whole process of that, I feel like, was done out of ego. It was done out of, let me prove to people that I can change the influencer space by helping people get closer to themselves. Like, I feel like my whole purpose was me trying to prove myself. And so, of course, anything you build out of ego is going to burn to the ground. So ended that. That was really hard for me because I had worked months to create it and then ended up realizing it wasn't right. And so the page that I had for the Influencer Rooftop had also already gone through so many stages. It started off as Aligned in My Design, which was the original page where I was still learning about human design. Then I changed it to In Her Process, which is, it was just me sharing my journey with human design. Then I changed it to the Influencer Rooftop. Then I changed it to Kaice's Haven, which was supposed to be like my little safe space. And then I changed it to Talk Energy to Me because I found myself yet again trying to prove myself. And I feel like I hit resistance and I hit a brick wall with that too, because it was almost like I was trying to recreate what I had created with the influencer rooftop. And something that I have been learning pretty much the hard way through this. Oh, I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex lash primer. I love this stuff. Yeah, I feel like this is another way I'm taking my power back this year, because I feel like I have always been trying to create something for other people and to prove to other people that I have something to give. My human design page always felt the most authentic, and I feel like it even always had the most impact when I was just authentically sharing my spiritual journey and how these tools were helping me ground it, you know? And every time I would change it back to In Her Process or Casey's Haven or something that was me focused, it started to feel like it wasn't going to work because it was too me focused, because I wasn't utilizing that space to directly help other people. You know what I mean? And after, you know, really sitting with this and like thinking about it and just feeling a little bit stuck with that as well, I realized that this whole time God has been asking me to just show up and share my story and my truths, and that is enough to attract the people that are supposed to be in my vicinity or in my community to want to work with me. Like, I don't have to sit here and preach to people other things outside of what I've learned or outside of my own journey in order to attract the right audience. I feel like I constantly tell myself or put pressure on myself to be this heretic or like be this person of service for other people, not realizing that I am not giving myself enough credit for how impactful just showing up and sharing who I am and sharing how these tools have helped me to step into more sovereignty and have helped me become a better version of myself is just enough to get people to say, I want to work with her. And I feel like how do I want to say this? I feel like my vision for how I want to be seen as an influencer is changing a lot. I feel like it's been in changing. The influencer rooftop, I feel like, started off as my first rebellion against like just being a beauty influencer. But I feel like the structure is where it's been a little bit difficult for me to like find something and stick to. I say all that to say that page has gone back to In Her Process, and it will stay that way. And I'm just going to post over there when I feel like I have something to share that's, you know, on the more spiritual woo-woo side. And I will continue to share my beauty content, of course, on my main page. Haus Labs has a new mascara. I saw it in Sephora yesterday and I grabbed it because I love Haus Labs and I'm like, this is probably gonna be really good. The bristles also look very similar to my fave Lawless mascara, so I'm like, ooh, if it wants to focus, that would be great. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. So yeah, I haven't even really been active over there just because I've been trying to figure out the best way to do it, and that in itself has kept me a little paralyzed because I know that I'm overthinking it. Like, no one has to tell me that. I actually just posted on my story on Instagram the other day just saying, you know, I'm confused right now. I don't know how I want to post. I don't know. I just don't know. And everybody was like, you're doing fine. You're like, you're overthinking it. And I'm like, I know I'm overthinking it, but I think for me, I just wish that I could find something that really sticks. Like, for me, something that people can just know me for. And oh my God, do y'all see my lashes? Whew. I feel like in a lot of ways that mindset keeps paralyzing me because I'm not supposed to stick to something, and I have to just keep reminding myself that and keep giving myself permission to just do whatever I feel like doing when I feel like doing it, and not feel like I just have to do vlogs, or I just have to do beauty, or I just have to do human design, or I, you know, like, I've never really been the type of person to put myself in a box, but I feel like now more than ever, I'm starting to do that because it's like I get frustrated with myself. My lashes look crazy. This is the first time I put on mascara in a while, and I feel like my lashes look amazing. I've always had very long lashes naturally. We know this, but they look good. I feel like y'all need to see these up close. Wow. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see my lashes? Oh my God. I didn't even do the bottom lashes yet. Right now, I'm just trying to give myself permission to do what I want to do what feels right, and to not put so much pressure on myself to stick to something. I feel like also with everything that's been going on with the inauguration and just like how quickly things are changing in our society, it's just like the passion hasn't even really been there for me to do beauty content, which is, it used to be like my safe space. It used to be like the thing that I could go to when I was feeling overwhelmed, and I'm kind of feeling like a call to action to do something bigger. Even though I know that my content is inspiring and helpful in its own right, I just kind of, I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling like I want to do something more, do something different. But I don't know. I guess sometimes I just freeze, and I fear that people won't feed into it the same way they do with beauty, which probably will be the case, but I can't let that stop me, you know? I completely forgot to put on bronzer. This is the Kaice bronzer. My birthday is also coming up. I will be 28. I think by the time you guys see this video, birthday will already have passed. I probably won't be vlogging this year. I don't know. There may or may not be a birthday vlog this year because I don't even know what I'm doing this year. I have a surprise with a special someone. So I'm not sure. I probably won't vlog. But maybe I'll do like a story time or something afterwards to just catch you guys up on that as well. I'm not really ready to talk too much about that, but yes, there is a special someone in my life, and we're supposed to be doing something for my birthday that I have no idea what it is yet. So if you follow me on Instagram, by the time you see this video, then you would have already seen something, I guess. I'll probably post something. That is also another side of life that has been a little mysterious, and I'm still very much figuring that out. And I want to introduce that in the right timing and, you know, when it makes sense to. So, but for now, we're just gonna call him Mr. Special Someone. For my lips, I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty Kind Words matte lip liner. It looks like this. It's one of my favorite brown lips. I really regret not getting the new contour, and I was just in Sephora yesterday. Y'all know what else I want to try? I want to try those new Rhode lip contour sticks. Those look amazing. I actually haven't tried anything from Rhode before. I don't know why. I just haven't thought to try anything from them. For my lips, I actually just got the Lawless Forget the Lip Filler Plumping Gloss. I've seen so many people talk about this. This one's in the shade Nudie. That's what it looks like. Oof. It's so juicy. Oh my god, it's so pretty. That's my little hack. If you don't want to get like lipstick on your teeth, just put your finger in your mouth and then pull it out. It looks weird, but I promise it works. Oh, that's so pretty. Love it. Ooh, and I feel the plumping for sure. I'm so hungry. We are going to Toast on Lenox, but we're going to the Midtown location. I don't know why they call it Toast on Lenox because this one's not on Lenox, but yeah, this year I really wish that I had a list of definitive goals, but I feel like I'm still in a season where I'm just kind of supposed to be letting myself receive the answers. It's been kind of difficult for me because I'm just not used to this. I'm so used to having something that I'm working on all the time, and it's not that I don't have anything that I'm working on. I actually have something big that I'm working on. So I'm kind of tripping for saying that. A lot of things have come full circle for me. A lot of things have ended. A lot of things have just either had resistance or hit full stop. And I'm just kind of like grounding myself right now. I really wish I could sit here and give you guys definitive goals that I have for this year. But the reality is I don't have definitive goals. I have something that I am working on for my In Her Process stuff that I'm really excited about. I'll probably share more about that in like another video or a vlog or something. It's basically a revamped version of what the influencer rooftop was supposed to be, but in the correct way, I would say. I feel like now more than ever, especially with the current political climate, we need community, we need safe spaces, and that is my intention for this year. It's not a goal, but my intention for this year is to start really being able to create safe spaces for people, access for people to really unravel the things that are holding them back, the things that are causing them to do things that are not healthy for them. You know what I mean? I feel like I have these tools, human design and astrology, in my back pocket for a reason, and I'm just figuring out how I want to use these gifts. And not necessarily like use the tools themselves, but like use my own gifts that I have cultivated from these tools and like help other people using them. Get Frenchy. I feel like I am giving myself permission to take my time because I have never done that. I'm going to set, so what am I gonna set? I'm gonna set with the all-nighter. This is the hyaluronic acid one. I love this one, especially because it's cold outside. So this gives me like some moisture, but still like that all-nighter that we love. Mini update on my locks. Oh my gosh. So like I said, my birthday is this week, so I got my hair done a few days ago. It still looks brand spanking new, thank God, because it has to last me a couple more days. I was supposed to have so much to do this past weekend, which is why I got my hair done so early, but it got canceled. If I didn't, like if I knew that things were going to be canceled, I would have got my hair done literally the day before my birthday. But I think it's gonna last. I think it'll still look silky smooth. We are almost at 10 months. We'll be 10 months on February 8th. So this is the back of the style. I think it's really cute. It's a little halo situation. I don't know why Frenchie is all up in my face. What's up? Y'all can hear his little grunts in the back, I'm sure. But yeah, that's a little life updates. Intentions for this year. No major goals, but intentions. I'm gonna keep you guys posted on content updates and things that I'm changing. Make sure you subscribe to my newsletter as well. It's now called In Her Process to match my In Her Process Instagram page. I definitely miss doing my newsletters, so I want to get back on track with that. It's been a few months since I sent my last one. I'm gonna go get dressed and head out for brunch. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.